Good morning, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, you're going to learn how to be your player's favorite GM. Do you ever wonder what it takes to become your player's favorite GM in the whole world? In this video, I'm going to share 3 game-changing tactics that will instantly boost your storytelling, engagement, and player satisfaction. Whether you're new to GMing or a seasoned pro, these tips will help you create unforgettable sessions your players will rave about for days, weeks, months, years to come. So stick around, let's level up your GM game right now. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GM Philosopher. If you want to be your player's favorite GM, it is a simpler matter than you might think. In fact, I have 3 points today that if you incorporate starting with your next session, you would be amazed at how quickly you may become your player's favorite GM of all time. These 3 points are rarely touched on in a lot of games. A lot of GMs overlook them, unfortunately, and you can capitalize on this opportunity by focusing on these things, using them in your next session. They are not terribly difficult to use. It's just a knowledge game. It's just knowing to do it. And when you use them, you're going to find that your players are going to have a way better time, and they're going to want to come back day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year to play in your campaigns as often as you are willing to play. So let's dive in and talk about point number 1 to get things started. First of all, know your players. The big thing here is to really pay attention to what your players desire. Listen to what they say. You want to interface with your players in the most valuable way possible to understand what they may desire from the game and from the session for their characters and for those character arcs. This could include a session 0, but that's not all. It's really important to pay close attention during the game also. For example, when I run games, I'm often listening to the players talking about what they think might happen, and I'm paying really sure to pay attention to how excited they seem about certain types of things. I also listen to them basically asking me for things. My players will straight up say, are you going to make this a pirate campaign? That would be dope, or something like that, right? The point is that I am always keeping my ears open to listen to my players so that I know what they're looking for. And here's the thing, this is the magic ingredient. If you can find out what your players want in the game, and then you can give it to them in a good way, that's going to make them love your game as opposed to being frustrated by it. And sometimes you can even ask this outright. At the end of every session, you can say, hey, just out of curiosity, what are you kind of hoping will happen? Like, what are you looking for? What would you like your character to do? Like, what kind of, what would get you just going on an adventure? Like, what would make you feel so pumped about this campaign? Just asking your players these types of questions. There's no shame in this. Doing your research makes you a responsible GM. So do a little bit of research and try to figure out what your players want. Know your players. Very important. This brings us to point number 2. Inject drama and conflict in every interaction, even in small little ways. This could mean injecting mystery into the simplest of NPC actions. This could mean that every time they talk to an NPC, there's something a little bit wrong. My foot hurts. So-and-so was rude to me. I went to the market and I bought an apple and they charged me 2 silver and then accused me of stealing when I left and I had to run from the guards. See, these different things, they might sound kind of zany, kind of wild. These are kind of like very kind of basic, almost comical examples. But the point is that every time the players turn any which way, you want to have a little conflict. When they go to buy ale at the tavern, don't have the tavern keeper just take their money and give them their ale. Have the tavern keeper look them up and down, make a smirk, hand them their ale, and then turn around and walk away. What was that about? They don't know, but it's a little bit of conflict. And if you pepper this all throughout your sessions, a lot of these little conflicts are bound to hook your players in, get them interested. Increase that intrigue. This is part of what makes games so much fun, and creative GMs use this technique of peppering little bits of drama everywhere. I mean, everywhere, dozens of times throughout the session, just in the hopes, with the knowledge that maybe 1, 2, 3 of them will stick as something that the players are really interested in. And boom, that word interest is a magic word. You have just really managed to level up engagement and interest by peppering this drama in, whereas had you not done it, or had you only planned 1 or 2 little instances of drama, then you wouldn't have gotten that massive return of finding something that the players really want to go after. And you will often be surprised at what it is. Sometimes it's hard to plan drama, so I like to shotgun it out there and see what sticks. And this leads us to point number 3. Take everything a level deeper. This is actually an improv versus session prep thing that I want to talk about, but it's really, really important. Whenever you're preparing anything for your session, whether it be a map, an NPC, a plot arc, an enemy spell book, a magic item, a homebrewed magic item, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you go a level deeper, take things just a level deeper every single time you make something. So maybe let's say you write out a plot line, let it sit, sleep on it, let it sit for a day, come back, rework it, be like, how can I get a little more drama in here? How can I make this a little more mysterious? How can I make these NPCs pop a little bit more? When you make that dungeon map, make the map, let it sit for a day, come back, reimagine it, put some traps in there, be like, what kind of monster would make this really interesting? How can I inject mystery into this one corridor? Maybe you're going to put a mimic that looks like a pair of shoes in there or something, right? Or maybe you think to yourself, I'm going to have like an evil wizard. But then when you come back around, you think, I'm going to make this evil wizard a level deeper. This evil wizard is actually going to be a halfling, but he's going to be disguised as a giant because he's walking around in an automaton and he has a club. So he doesn't even look like a wizard. He looks like a giant, but then they notice he has metal elbows and it's a little weird. And then lightning bolt, right? So it's like, what could make this really zany? And then maybe another thing is he has a little half twin who's stuck to his side, and the little half twin shoots a crossbow out the side. So they're fighting this giant, and then every once in a while, pew, a little light crossbow bolt shoots out of the giant automaton side and hits one of them for a D4 damage. This is very wild, very zany, and very funny, but it's just imagining, how can I take this a level deeper? How can I take my awesome thing I've created and just make it a little bit better with the next iteration? This process will help you to run way more deep, engaging, and interesting sessions just by expanding on your already good ideas to take them one level deeper before they hit the game board. And in case you need a little bit of extra help, I have a couple things to offer you. Number one, you can join my mailing list. When you do, you'll get a free copy of my Ultimate Plot Randomizer ebook. If you need to roll random plot arcs on the fly, you can just roll D100s. You can roll the hook, the conflict, the conclusion, and even add wild and wacky stuff with this. Print it out, put it in your stuff. I use this all the time and I offer it free when people join my mailing list. So grab that. That will help you to create plot arcs, and then you can take those a level deeper with your own creativity and make them even more awesome. I also want to invite you to join my Discord. If you like doing homebrew stuff, if you like running games, playing games, if you want to bounce ideas off other GMs, collaborate, you can jump into our Discord and hang out with us. We're hanging out every single day. It's a free Discord. You can just jump in, say hi, and you just might find that there's a lot of inspiration and help and just sort of like side-by-side creativity going on in there that might take your creativity up a notch to the next level. And that's all I've got to say about this one. Hey, thank you so much for coming by for another video. I'm here almost every single day creating videos about the best game in the world, D&D. So I will see you awesome people on the next one.